appeared out of nowhere. Left with no options, Captain Strong urges the only way. After this, both of them brace through the intense turbulence. While the passengers breathe a sigh of relief, the pilots are stunned to see the sky working, and all communications to the ground control are lost. Despite this, on their radar for the next 30 minutes, they start getting suspicious. Asks her to settle everyone in their seats, as they will be making a descent. In the next, Daniel mentions that it's not a normal aircraft. He starts getting scared, a state of panic, but the flight attendants quickly calm them down, mentioning that airplanes start circling them. As they are about to be attacked, they use their radar, anxious by the minute. Some of them demand that Cameron reveal what's happening. Clue about their current location, he decides to descend once again below. However, when the captain mentions that they'll soon run out of fuel, he agrees to inform the captain about it. They then sneak up inside the cockpit, and in which were owned and operated by, wait for it, the Nazis. Time traveled back to 1940 amidst World War II. After this, the guys reveal that the plane is failing to catch any signals because of a calculated Nazi attack on the west coast of France in 1940 seats, but not before telling them to keep their mouths shut. In the next scene, he asks the captain to identify himself. Captain Strong obliges, and also a radio signal from an airplane, which is flying at a high altitude. And Captain Strong begs Nigel for help, but the latter is confused about their identity, the captains, and they finally realize that the historians were not lying. Lets them talk to Nigel. Bennett deduces a rough location through his assumption Astria is still active. He then decides to head to his superior and kitchen. He then decides to take matters into his own hands and gets up from his seat. He also mentions that Hitler's army is currently invading the country, and both of them agree to join him. With this, the newly formed group decides to hide, and even the flight attendants join in on the action. Luckily, the bad guys' their information about the Lancastria was right. He also mentions that he will need their exact location. Captain Strong and the historians give a British soldiers. Sadly, as soon as he does so, the Germans follow total chaos. Despite this, Captain Strong doesn't panic, and he tries it, and as it is about to hit the ground, he pulls it up. The Germans also fall. In the next scene, it is revealed that Daniel got shot during the attack. Strong finally decides to confront the scared passengers. He asks one of the flight attendants. However, the recent attack damaged the plane's landing gear, so they will. Lisa and Hector agree to volunteer. Soon, the trio heads down the is successful, but there is one last obstacle. The landing gear is Strong immediately agrees to risk his life, even though he's the only guy that can, and using a hammer fixes the problem. Later, Captain Strong fuel left in it, so they need help immediately. As they are talking, the passengers in a state of shock, Captain Strong comes up with another plan to avenge into each other, hence saving everyone's lives. After the close call, up with an idea. He proposes that they cut off the airplane radar and send it over. They agree. Following this, they re-establish contact with Nigel and brief the radar at a specific location and start preparing for it. In the next scene, he hands them over some toy parachutes, which he had supposedly picked up for his grand. After a while, they reach the designated spot, chuck the device out of the plane. Right then, some members of the British Army arrive there, and an intense shootout are inside his base and starts operating it. He then guides Captain Nigel to find a landing spot as soon as possible, as he is skimming through another storm, similar to the one which teleported them into this world, for his assistance. After this, he announces to the passengers that they will be the aircraft into the storm. Fortunately, their plan works, and at last, after 6 hours of chaos and terror, flight. After a while, Captain Strong also gets out of the cockpit and finds the movie ends as the old man is revealed to be none other than notifications. And leave a like to help the channel out. Thank you for watching.